Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Remember this question for a little later. What is the job of the Catholic Church and her bishops? Now, as we talked about earlier, environmentalism is a sham, a movement invented by former communists and current socialists in order to advance socialism through population control, meaning abortion and contraception. Notable world leaders back this plan and have targeted various religions, especially Catholicism, to give the movement a veneer of respect. For example, in 1986, they held an interfaith service at the Catholic Basilica in Assisi, a disgrace if there ever was one. Environmentalism is so closely bound up with population control that it cannot exist without it. That a Catholic basilica in the hometown of arguably the most famous saint in Catholic history would play host to a conference and religious service promoting death is beyond words. But there's more. The secular media is dubbing Pope Benedict the Green Pope. So far have liberal operatives in the church succeeded that a little over a year ago, the Vatican agreed to become the first carbon-neutral state in Europe and planted a forest in Hungary to offset its annual carbon emissions. The European press ate it up, heaping praise on the Pope and the Vatican for being good environmentalists. Where's the praise for trying to defend the family and unborn children, But what the Vatican has done by allowing itself to be co-opted in the Green Revolution is mere window dressing to what our friends at the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops are currently doing. The Vatican's efforts, after all, are largely symbolic, even if they are utterly misguided. In April of last year, remember, right in the middle of the Obama Notre Dame scandal, the U.S. bishops launched a new program they call Catholic Climate Covenant. They use the word covenant to make it sound all holy and religious. This was the latest development of a much larger agenda called the Catholic Coalition on Climate Change, begun in 2006. So, what is the Catholic Climate Covenant exactly? It's an educational effort aimed at every single one of the 19,000 Catholic schools in America where the Bishops' Conference sends out packets, millions of packets of material, so every school child can be indoctrinated in the dangers of greenhouse gases and how the planet has to be protected from human beings producing carbon dioxide. Don't make this stuff up, folks. This is absolutely true. Remember, by the way, there isn't a shred of credible evidence to suggest that carbon dioxide emissions are in fact destroying the planet, causing vast changes to the climate, or bringing out the end of the world like the socialists and communists want you to believe. Parishes were asked to include environmental themes in their homilies the Sunday before Earth Day. At the sacred holy sacrifice of the Mass, the bishops are asking the priests to talk about Earth Day. That's a liturgical abuse if there ever was one. What was totally glossed over, however, is the fact that one of the founders of Earth Day, former Liberal Democratic Senator from Wisconsin, Gaylord Nelson, was a huge supporter of population control. He said that saving the environment was impossible without reducing the number of humans. But that little tidbit seems to have escaped the notice of the bishops. No, they're perfectly fine having the policies of pro-abortion, socialism-loving politicians preached from the pulpit as opposed to the gospel of our blessed Lord. See, right-thinking people have always known, at least been suspicious, that something was very fishy about this whole environmental movement. With its emphasis on population control, something else seemed to be afoot. With its leadership coming from the ranks of Europe's former communist regimes, something has never seemed quite normal about this whole green garbage. The science has been challenged repeatedly by tens of thousands of scientists around the globe. And the people who push this radical agenda are also the biggest supporters of socialism and abortion and contraception, the whole shooting match. So, forgive faithful Catholics if we've smelled a rat for some time. Well, this past November, the suspicions were all confirmed. The rat was shown in public. A hacker broke into the computers of a leading liberal think tank, a huge climate change group, in Britain and released more than 1,000 emails about climate change where various scientists, bad scientists, admit that the climate change is fraudulent and opposition to their views must be suppressed. So with all this information at their disposal, what do the Catholic bishops in America do? Absolutely nothing. Not a peep. Not a request to cease the Catholic Climate Covenant while all this is reviewed. Not a call to suspend activities of the Catholic Coalition on Climate Change. Nothing. Not a zip, zero. Absolutely nothing. But what's more important about the continued string of actions on the part of the Bishops' Conference in supporting left-wing liberal activities, directly or indirectly, is what they are not doing. Where is the huge program, the size and scope of the Catholic Climate Change Initiative or the Catholic Campaign for Human Development that promotes the devotional life or the need to convert Protestants and Jews or to talk about the evils of contraception? How come packets of information by the millions aren't being sent out to the 19,000 schools stressing the importance of talking to students about hell and the sexual evils that engulf their world today? Where's the gigantic push to spread adoration? Where's the massive PR campaign to talk about purgatory or any other Catholic dogma? Where's the publication printed up and distributed by the millions talking about our Blessed Mother or how there's no salvation outside the Catholic Church? We've asked it before and we're going to continue to ask it. What the hell is going on at the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops? And I use the word hell deliberately. Their business is about saving souls, and here we are back to that question. What is the job of the church and her bishops? It's to save souls, period. Humans will not be judged on how small their carbon footprint was. Here's the solid truth. Not all, but too many bishops have simply lost their nerve to stand up and say what needs to be said. Every celebrated secular cause that comes down the pike, they will sign on to and launch a program and form a committee and push an agenda, and they will spend millions of dollars to do it. They get in bed with some of the slimiest political operatives of the day, either complicitly or naively, and help advance everything before the authentic faith. They better start being concerned about accounting to Christ who appointed them shepherds. They don't have to answer to the laity. They have to answer to the same King of Kings that we all do. But in either case, at least there will be less carbon emissions on earth when our blessed Lord comes back to judge. And hey, that's got to count for something, right? Well, some of them better be thinking it better count for a whole lot. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.